30 black trucks, all of us known for. Put on that stuff, I let her go. Ain't no handcuff, I get her hard on. When them bands come, these niggas too loose. Need to tighten up, took her to Hermes. Got her items up, what ain't fucked up. And a spider home. Free the guy down the road, got a hide phone. Had my name from the screen, not a microphone. Ain't no sleep, she on 2, I took Adderall. Niggas act like they us, but they not at all. Caught the baddest shit that we forgot to call. I put down in my teeth like on power wall. Pretty titties, her whole body sauce off. Hold the back of her head till her jaws locked. I don't care what he do, he a crime ball. Extra legs, I'm dressing, I'm stuffed gang. I'm the real one, 2 million on pinky ring. Come through pimping like Pinky without the cane. Niggas thinking they happy, they Eddie Kane. I been putting on this stuff in my baby frame. Walk around with $1 that's pocket chain. Niggas think that you smart till you knock your brain. I done brought the rover like on the flame. Me and Ski trying to see who the coldest shit. If I see it with bro, I don't know the bitch. Extra stuff every time, extra stuff every time, extra stuff every time when I'm stepping out. Put on stuff every time, put on stuff every time, put on stuff every time when I'm stepping out.
8x8, 36, 0 waste, 3 on 3, my type of date. All this stuff, I might be late. It's all this stuff, 8x8. Stuff, stuff, stuff. Stuff, 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 stuff. Stuff, stuff, stuff. Wow, breaking the 9. Inside the spot, you know 3 of them mine. Feel like one oak and they one of a kind. 3 of a kind. Put on my ice and all 3 of them blind. I put grease in my soda, I'm trying to get fried. She rocking that outfit, she trying to get high. Rubbers on rubbers, I never get tired. Bought her that ice and I know she still lying. Brought number 1 on the plane cause she fly. Brought number 2 a new whip, she got dry. Brought number 3 a new Gucci, so dick. Brought number 4 a new sticker, she 5. Brought number 5, she the 5, number 5, number 5, number 5, number 5, number 5. Yeah, one at a time. Yeah. Bring them all of them. Yeah. Wow. 8x8, 36, 0 waste, 3 on 3, my type of date. All this stuff, I might be late. It's all this stuff, 8x8. Stuff, stuff, stuff. Stuff, 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 stuff. Stuff, 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 stuff. Wow.
Today, we're going to talk about the early MLB games, NBA and NHL playoffs, and let's cash the squad ride. This is Behind the Lines.
I feel like we get a Corbin Carroll, Nugenheimer off of something off speed. Can't walk him. Can't get him on the base pass. And I think you got to pitch to him. And I don't know if it's going to end well.
That guy sucks, Jose Ferrer. Sure, he can throw 100 miles an hour. He has no idea where it's going.
There's
Zero
no way
clue.
you gassing up Ferrer, dude.
Zero clue where it's going. That guy, he might as well be pitching with a blindfold on.
And then Ty Jerome, this is where I will gladly take him to be pork. This is his perfect opportunity to shine, and he's been really good at taking these opportunities. So now that he has every single opportunity in the world where he's going to be pretty much the only starter in the lineup for a majority of the game against this Pacers defense, gladly I will get involved.
Arrest Zach Campbell. Put him behind steel bars. Get this guy out of here. He is a f***ing loser, a scum, a lowlife who makes people's lives around him significantly worse to benefit his. He's a me guy, the textbook definition of a me guy. What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Wednesday, episode 688 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your 2 hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by Bookit Sports. If you are not tracking your bets on Pickets, I mean, how many more times do we have to tell you? Go check it out yourself. Go check out Bookit Sports on the App Store or Google Play. You can track your bets on there. You can check splits. You can check stats. You can check the Twitter type feed they have on there for only sports bettors. Go check out Bookit Sports. If you haven't already, it's free. Could not be easier to use. Go check it out for yourself. W Pickett, W Jovan, WBTL. What's up, East?
You see what just happened in the Reds game, Krabs?
I did not.
Mason win first game in the 2-hole because yesterday's got canceled and he just went yard the first day.
And that was one of the many squares we talked about in the Discord last night, and somehow found a way to not hit a single lineup on the diamonds. Yep.
GG.
Good thing Goots is I've never seen a guy make more trades in my entire life than Goots with his baseball diamond with his dynasty team. I've never seen him.
Goots is literally Moneyball. It's unbelievable.
Goots thinks he's Mike Rizzo out here with all these fucking trades. Austin Rendy's coming in here with some subbies. Look at this, boys. We got some subbies to start out the day. Austin Rendy's coming in hot. We got Easy Puck coming in hot. Easy Puck, 14-month resub, 14 months with my goats. Let's cash on a Wednesday and fuck Zach Campbell. Yep. 3 great things. Cannot agree more. We got Step Back Harden coming in hot with a resub as well. Almost 2 years. Wow. That is pretty crazy. I need to get the YouTube chat up as well to make sure that I got you guys. I got all my bases covered here. All right, let me go ahead and get the YouTube pulled up as well. But Twitch resubs getting up and moving on a Wednesday. Love to see it. Love to see it. Jovan, we can go ahead and start off with a little Squad Ride recap here while I get this YouTube chat up and moving. W Squad Ride, W Play, W Chat, voting for the Guardians. Let's fucking go. Sure we can.
Huge. Love the Guards. Krabs,
I
feel like you've been in your bag on these just disgusting games.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've just been in my bag in general.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. We got PAX Picks coming in with the biddies. Again, don't know what 6 biddies equates to. I don't care. I just love seeing that PAX Picks. Way to get involved. You're goated. We got Skeezy Boy coming in with 4 bits. Sure. I will give some subs if we can get a statement from Goots on the state of the O's, a comment from OG Sour, pinned by Pega, who's him, by the way. Goots. Hate to do it to you, man. I know you're beaten up. You're disheveled. You're heading to the ballpark tonight. You cannot be happy with the state of the program. But look, I know you're a team player, so get involved. OG Sour is going to bless up some subbies. We'll do a little Steam Goots here.
I mean, I've been saying it for weeks. I really have nothing to say. I mean, it's bad ball club. There he is, OG Sour.
Wow.
Pitching, awful. For some reason, we can't hit now.
You got 5 subbies, Goots. We're going to need a little more anger out of you. That's a 5 piece.
I mean, I'm more sad than angry.
I know.
So
give us something, though. First it was Hyde, then it was the GM. Can we get a player? Can we get a player thrown under the bus?
And shout out Jack Settleman. He did have a good tweet similar to this. But
wow.
It's just in the past, those 100-loss seasons, there was always some hope with guys like Adley coming up, Gunnar coming up, Westberg coming up. There was some hope there. We knew we were bad. We knew we were in a rebuild.
Sure.
Now we're here. Now it's our window. Should be our window.
Right.
This hurts way more than any of those other seasons have ever hurt.
Because you weren't supposed to even be good back then. You had something to look forward to. Now is the window, and you're blowing. Yep.
Completely blowing.
Blowing.
Mike Elias versus 100 gorillas, please. We'll be seeing.
It's so funny, bro. It's so funny, all the hate for the owner and the GMs. But you know what? The GM and the owner, they deserve a lot of hate. The players deserve more hate. But those guys who are putting the team in this position also deserve a lot of hate and a lot of chirps as well. So it's good on you holding them accountable. And I mean, yeah, look, hindsight's 2020. We're a month into the season, 5 weeks into the season. It's very easy to look back on the year and say, holy shit, what was he thinking? Assembling the starting rotation. Sure.
Why are we talking shit about Jackson Holliday right now? He's been hitting great against lefties, and Brandon Hyde doesn't even put him in the lineup against lefties. He's not the problem.
There it is.
Might be everybody else.
I don't get it. It's like
I just don't know what they were thinking.
Put a serviceable rotation on the field. I understand being like, all right, Bradish is coming back, Grayson's coming back, but still, you got to know that something else could come up, and it could be a complete shit rotation just like this. If Dean figures it out, Grayson and Bradish come back sooner than we expected, it might be different. But then Grayson hurts his shoulder, and then he's on the 60-day IL again. It's like
they come back in the
slide into first base like he loves to do for no reason.
They come back and the O's lose 5-2 instead of 15-2.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you made that a chirp, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. It sucks. It's really sad for the city, for me, fans, for everyone involved.
Well, hey, Goots, the good thing is we do have a lot of ball left. Okay, and I know that's a lot easier said than done. Look, man, it all comes back to the Nats, as it should.
I mean,
back in 2019, they were 19-32. Terrible. Anything can happen. Don't give up yet.
I mean, you did have one.
Don't give up yet. It certainly helps when you got a guy like Soto. Sure.
Yeah.
And Chad's talking about.
Jim Palmer tweeted it yesterday. It's like, you have an opportunity to go win a series for the first time of the year against the Yankees tonight. Who cares about yesterday?
I didn't know Jim Palmer can tweet.
Jim Palmer.
Yeah, I
for
didn't know
him.
you're still up and moving
Is he on there?
on
Oh,
Twitter,
yeah.
on
He
social
calls
media.
games, Krabs.
Oh, I know he calls the games. I
he
heard him say the
tweets.
most ridiculous thing ever last week.
He tweets and he comments on people's replies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good on his grandson or granddaughter for teaching him how to use Twitter. Sure. I will say, that guy, he's not on my good side. He's never eaten a chicken wing in his entire life.
Yeah, crazy.
You know that?
Crazy. But he did say if the O's hit like 3 grand slams in the game, he'll eat one. So when that
Okay.
happens, he'll eat one. But
He's
that's not
never, yeah, he was disgusted by chicken wings and the whole idea of them.
Yeah.
He was
That's
disgusted
ridiculous.
by it. They brought up a whole thing of sponsored chicken wings
did.
during the fucking
And
game,
he wouldn't eat it.
and he couldn't even touch it. And he was
Yeah.
disgusted by it, and he was making
Wouldn't eat it.
comments about it. I was like, dude, read the room. This is a fucking chicken wing place in your stadium that you're
Hey,
roasting.
good point from Snacks here, coming from a guy who doesn't like mac and cheese.
Yeah, that is.
Okay.
That's one of the legs you probably
Valid.
don't have to stand on, Krabs.
Valid.
I will say
Okay.
that.
All right. You know, that is fair. Sometimes I need to be humbled. And you know what? That's a good comment.
I
there from
appreciate
Thanks.
that from OG Sour. That makes me feel a little better. Appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, so you're him, bro. Nobody gives a hoot about the Orioles. They're going to figure it out. All that matters is that you're fucking goated and you come on here every day and you're doing one hell of a job.
Living
Keep
the
your
dream,
head up.
man. Living the dream.
Living the dream. A lot of ball left too, Goots.
A lot of ball.
A lot of ball left too. Don't give up just yet.
Yep.
Okay. Big night tonight. Goots on ground, boots on ground.
Orioles
night tonight.
candle is lit. Maybe that's the thing we need.
The Orioles candle's lit. Do we know the record for the Orioles when that candle's lit? Can't be good.
I got it before the Yankee series
Good
started.
move.
So 1-1. But yeah,
Okay.
it was
All right.
lit.
The candle's outperforming the team.
Yep, it is. It is. You're
Could be
right.
the difference.
Could
Could be
be.
the difference. All right. We got some follows coming in. We got a hype train that was achieved. Level 3. Love to see that. MLB Sharp coming in, dropping a follow. Love to see that. W follow MLB Sharp. Pax Picks coming in with some more bits as well. He's talking about Singer, less than K's, Cards ML to get the juices flowing. Good start for the Cards ML. And I certainly would have liked that play as well, although I couldn't get to the counter. Yeah, a lot of Reds love on the feed today. Deservingly so. They're on fire. I couldn't get there with Mikolas, but they're up 1-0. We'll see how long that lasts. Right? You got Matt McClain up at the dish. He could tie this game up with one swing.
Yeah.
Who knows?
He's really bad,
Right?
though. Really bad.
Yep. Big Bat, he's got the right mentality in the chat. Do not let being a fan of a Moose Shit squad bring you down. Coming from a Bucks fan. You're right. You're right. You can't have your mental health directly tied to the state of your teams. You can have it minimally tied, but it has to be less than 50%. There's other things out there, folks. Okay? Shamway69 coming in with a resub for 30 months. 30 big ones from Shamway. Sure he can. Sure he can. Appreciate you, GOAT. These subbies mean more than you guys know. We really appreciate you guys. All right. Why don't we go ahead and hop in, do some recaps so we can get to some winners for tonight. Squad Ride was a W. I forget if we flashed it already. If not, go ahead and flash it again. We did. Let's go to the Sharp Report. See how we did overall. Not our best work. Pretty disappointed by the first 5 under in Miami and LA. That was just a horrendous, horrendous play. Didn't help that we had maybe the worst defensive effort I've ever seen from Teoscar Hernandez to start the game, giving a leadoff triple to Xavier Edwards, but that shit would have hit anyways with the way Sandy was pitching. Be over. Terrible play. And McNeese, man, what the hell?
They fought, man. Fought till the end. They left the winning run, I think, on second, in the bottom of the 9th. Unbelievable effort from the boys, but not enough. But you had your first 5 under. I had my D-backs ML. That was really bad play.
It was. We got Brady in the chat. Teoscar, number 1 most annoying players for me. I mean, I cannot find a way to back that guy or fade him and make coins. Yeah, I agree. I took him yesterday. Less than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. The guy had 10 hits, runs, RBIs. Do you know how hard it is to get 10 hits, runs, RBIs in a fucking game? That's that probably hasn't happened all season. Well,
Ladder betters.
Actually, it just did against my Nats, I believe, with Brendan Nimmo. Can't fucking make it up.
Yeah, Nimmo had 9 RBI. Judge
Ben
is probably
Rice had
done
9
too. Yeah.
last night. Yeah.
Ben Rice,
Crazy.
guarded.
Crazy. Sandy could have been closer to his fantasy score if he didn't step foot on the mound. Literally, Aries, he had -7 points. If he just decided not to even go out there and pitch today and just take the day off, he would have done better. Yep. And that's how you know how terrible of a square that is. That's on me. Unbelievable. And welcome back, Kyle Gibson. Sure we can, Richie. All right, let's keep moving and grooving. Enough talking about Kyle Gibson. Enough talking about terrible, terrible prize pick squares that I'm giving out yesterday. Let's move. Let's groove. I think we have the TNT 2-piece and Dinger Tuesday we got to go over too. You just can't make it up. I don't even get it. I don't understand it. We don't even deserve it. But it hits every fucking week. TNT 2-piece.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I don't even know what to say. I'd love to come up here and beat the chest and say, holy shit, we're him. We are dialed in on the NBA. We're not. We're not. But Jovan, every week, every Tuesday, we craft up a TNT 2-piece, and every Tuesday it fucking hits. Every single Tuesday.
I don't understand how it's like an NBA lineup of all things. Just
every single Tuesday.
But it does. Even when a taco was involved, Krabs. We got tacoed in late night.
It didn't matter. He had 15 assists. Yeah. If you guys aren't tailing the TNT 2-piece, what are you doing? It hits every week, knock on wood. Every week. Incredible. Incredible. All right. Dinger Tuesdays, on the other hand, not our best work, although Jovan, you carried. Once again, shocker for the Dinger Tuesday segment. You hit another one. And I think Ben Rice had a couple nukes last night.
Should have put a Ben Rice 2+ on there.
Yep.
Hashtag thank you, Goots.
Yep. Insane. J Ramo for 5. Great night. Yeah, one of the worst. Just terrible at bats. Terrible approach. Looked like he didn't want to be there. And they still somehow found a way to win.
Yep. Shout out Manzardo.
Yeah, line shopper. As soon as Ohtani hit that leadoff nuke, it was toast. Yesterday was chalked. But good to get the squad rides. Okay, we'll bounce back on the Sharp report today. We got Ray Daddy coming in, dropping a sub as well. Tier 1. We got a new sub coming in from Ray. Sure we can. Let's go, Ray. Appreciate the subby. All right. Jovan, everybody thinks Steamed Krabs today is going to be about the Nats and Kyle Finnegan. I'm not mad. I liked what I saw last night. I'll be honest.
It wasn't even Kyle Finnegan's fault.
We know Kyle Finnegan sucks. He's still, you put that save in there, and he's still overperforming this season. He's still doing a great job.
Has to catch that ball.
Sure he does. I don't know why we're all acting like K-Bert Ruiz is Buster Posey behind the dish, but yes, he does need to make that play without a doubt. Any catcher in the major leagues does. But he's terrible at defense. We know this, right? Don't expect a guy to hit a home run who's never hit a home run in his career. It's the same thing with defense. K-Bert sucks at defense. So not surprised to see him blow it. You know what upsets me? All these different facets of this game has gotten brought up, but there's one actual part that upsets me, I guess. Do a little impromptu Steam Krabs here. We had bases loaded, no outs in the 8th. And not a single guy on the Nats put the ball in play. That's Bush League. That's what upsets me. Not blowing Nate Lyle's cool 3-run home run that he pimped. I mean, my God, that home run was glorious. Not us blowing that. Not Finnegan blowing the save. Not him throwing wild pitches, bringing runs in. Not him, leaving K-Barrett out to dry behind the dish with these pass balls and all this shit. No, I don't care about that. That's baked in. That's a sunk cost. It's the Nats we're talking about here. It's not the Dodgers. Don't expect Dodgers things out of the Nats. But what upsets me is getting the bases loaded in the 8th and not putting a single ball in play. That's not playing small ball. That's a bunch of me guys going up there to the dish and striking out. That sucked. But besides that, I don't care. Look, they're gonna blow games. They're gonna lose games. They're playing against the Phillies. Just the fact that they could take that lead in the 9th, in my opinion, Jovan, is a great sign for the state of the Nats. And we could talk a little bit more about that and the rest of Major League Baseball when we do a little State of the Union on the Diamond for a little BTL exclusive this week as well. Talk about the rest of the teams and the vibe checks around the league. Okay. But yeah, I'm not mad about the Nats.
Fair. What's the actual Steam Krabs here?
Don't get too excited now.
We just got a 2-piece.
Yeah. Why don't we go ahead and hop in, talk a little bit about the Sharp report for today. Talk about some winners. Sure we can. Snacks, I know, dude. I'm going to let you know when I get up there to Camden. When I take Mima up there, I'll let you know, bro. Would love to get a pick and a beer with Snacks. Has to be done. First time chatter, Ray Daddy, Tigers ML, 2:10 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk about the Tigers in a moment. For now, let's talk about some of our favorite plays. Okay? Jovan, my favorite play today, As crazy as it sounds, I think it's the Pirates. Nobody tell Rav, or else he's going to absolutely splurge. And he's going to be so unlocked the rest of the day. But I think we're raising Jolly today. I think we're raising Jolly. I do. Give me the Pirates plus 1.5. You guys know the deal with the plus 1.5s for me on the diamond. If it's a low scoring affair, I'll take the plus 1.5 if it's not too juicy. If I think it's going to be an overtype game for a dog, I'll take the ML. In this case, with Matthew Boyd and Moldinsky, you'd expect a high scoring affair, right? Especially considering the Cubs offense of late too. But I don't think we're getting one in this game. I think we get a low scoring nail biter, a 1-score game either way. So I'll take the Pirates with the run line here, just in case there's any fluke shit. I mean, they don't even have a closer. So, I'll take the plus 1.5 here at minus 110.
Sure. Can talk about that game a little bit when we get to some squares.
Yep. We're raising Jolly today, Jonesy. Sure. Yes. Boyd shoving against the Rat Shit Pirates. Generico saying probably. Coming off a pretty poor outing. Matthew Boyd kind of goes out there and just shoves 9 times out of 10. So I would not be shocked. I do like the under in the game. But I do think the Pirates end up squeaking this one out. And yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about some prize pick squares in this game in a little bit. Okay.
Sure.
For now, let's swing it around to Jovan's plays and see what he's crafting up for today.
The super rare 8.5 total in Seattle is what we have today, Krabs. And I want to take some runs in this game, especially because I think more so the Angels, like if I'm betting on a total and the Angels are involved, I have to feel pretty decently about their offense. And that's a rare to come in, I guess, cases like this, especially would be rare in a case where they're playing at Seattle, where offense is very obviously going to die. But today they get Emerson Hancock, who I think is interesting for a couple different reasons. I don't really believe in Emerson Hancock. He also got drilled like first start out this year. He's rebounded ever since. Like he had what I thought was his most impressive start of the season and most impressive start I've seen him have in quite some time, dating back to like the starts he made last year too, when he went, I think it was 6 strong, gave up 2 runs against the Red Sox. That was the game we took the over in, and he pitched actually really well. But thankfully on the other side, we got plenty of runs from the Mariners side. So that helped. And I think the bullpen sent it over with the Casas 3-run nuke at the end. But he pitched really, really well. I don't know if he's going to pitch all that well against the Angels tonight, especially because not only am I fading him off that start, but we have like a similar type pitcher with Bryce Miller last night, who I liked a lot more because he has a little better strikeout stuff. He has a little better pitch mix, but he has a walk problem. And that was the first time I think I saw the Angels look any sort of patient so far at the plate this season. Like Bryce Miller had 5 walks, and he, as much as he's had walk problems, like Emerson Hancock's are much, much worse. And he has much worse command. So if they do that again, they have the same type of patience and, I don't know, approaching their ABs today against Emerson Hancock, I think it's going to come with a lot more runs. And he definitely does not have the same caliber stuff to get away with it and get himself out of trouble like Bryce Miller did yesterday. So I think we get runs from their side. And then honestly, the scarier part of it, which should sound crazy because Emerson Hancock's on the other side, but Tyler Anderson is, I think, going to get touched up a little bit here. The Mariners, even when they're at home, like they've been good against lefties. They hit up a lot of these guys with a lot of damage, especially like these heavy off-speed type pitchers, the ones that don't have like overwhelming strikeout stuff. So I think it's a really good matchup for them. They also used to close that game, a lot of their A bullpen yesterday. So I don't know how much of them are going to be available or how many of them are going to be available today. So just staring at this 8.5 total with 2 pitchers that I don't think have the greatest matchup, and it feels pretty telling. So I want to get involved.
Yeah. Tyler Anderson scares the living daylights out of me. I'll say it.
Yeah.
But I want to fade him today, too. That guy, I just had no success fading this dude. He's one of those guys like Matthew Boyd so far this year who's just been a freak.
He's honestly like the pitcher version of the Orioles, where anytime it's like somewhat sharp to fade him, I guess it's not when he's coming through, which today, he's facing the Mariners of all teams, where the strikeouts are all over the feed and the game's in Seattle. So really doesn't make all that much sense, I guess, to the casual brain or casual look, but I think it might today.
Yeah, he's still got that 2.6 ERA, which is nuts.
Nuts, dude. It's just an outsgetter.
See how long that can last. And yeah, he's typically an outsgetter. I love seeing his 16.5 pitching out square up there on prize picks, considering he is an outsgetter. And that's pretty low compared to his last 3 outings, which could be a good sign for runs as well, Jovan.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, Stanley's saying in the chat, I fucking hate fade him too, but sometimes you don't have a choice. And this over is looking pretty. Love this play. Great sell job. We're getting runs in Seattle tonight. Rare over. Rare over in Seattle. Okay. He does have that stupid leg kick, Stan. Yep. He does. You know ball. All right. Let's move. Let's groove. Okay. Let's talk about another straight bet that I'm bringing with me today. I don't know if we've ever had an NBA team total, or I don't know if I've ever brought one, but we've got one today. How about the Warriors team total under 100.5? Surely the Warriors score over 100 points tonight, right? As that spread trickles up to -4 for the Rockets coming off of back-to-back losses. Surely.
Sure.
The Warriors, who, eclipsed that with ease last game, 109 points. The game before that, 104. They've eclipsed that with ease the last 2 games. They've taken care of business. Well, thought it was kind of weird seeing the Rockets, number one, catching steam in this game after 2 straight L's. Already wanted to back the Rockets in some capacity, though, because, you guys know me at this point. You look at that line, you see a Rockets team down 3-1, I'm fucking backing them in some way, shape, or form, right? Just try to find the right way to do it. And I think this is the way to do it because we're including the under in the game. Love the under in the game after we saw an over for the first time this series in that last game, in that 109-106, close game. The total opened up, a point higher than it was in that last game, which I didn't think was enough or really that significant to show that we're getting another over in this one. And now we're seeing the total dropping from 204.5 to 204. So I don't think we're getting points in this game. And if the Rockets win and cover, I think it's got to go under. But instead of laying juice on the Rockets ML, instead of betting the Rockets to win this game by 5, which certainly scares me a little bit, I could surely see them winning this game by, 2, 3, or 4. And Vegas wins. We all don't, as the Rockets win on the ML, but they don't cover the spreads. I want to avoid that bullshit. And I want to avoid laying some juice on the ML. And I'll just take the Warriors team total under 100.5 after they've crushed this number with ease in the last 2 games. If the Rockets want to win this game, if they want to cover this game, they got to do it with defense like they've been doing it all season. They're doing that tonight at home, backs against the wall. They win with defense, and they keep the Warriors from scoring triple digits.
Yeah, I'm in on that. I think both these series are not done today. And for both teams, I guess, you got to come with some defensive effort, more so, I guess, this game than the other one.
I'm excited to talk about that other game, too.
Sure.
That spread is moving and grooving as well. We'll get there. Chat really wants some NBA talk today. We'll give it to them. For now, let's swing it around to your plays and see what you're crafting up over there. How about a moneyline parlay? Wow.
Yeah, okay. BTL moneyline parlay. Caps and Rays.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I don't think the NBA series are over tonight, but I do think at least this NHL series is going to be over tonight, and it's probably going to be like a grinded out game. I think the Habs in Game 3 and really in Game 4, they gave the Caps their best punches. They won Game 3, obviously, in pretty dominating fashion. A little bit of that had to do with like the goalie situation, but now Thompson's back in there, and the game was close until the end. They played really, really well 5v5 for them or against the Caps for a while in Game 4. Then kind of fell apart. Then you got the game-winning goal plus the 2 empty netters to make it look worse than it actually was. But now you got the team coming back to DC after they've pretty much thrown the kitchen sink at them. The Habs have, and they got their win in Game 3. I think that's all they're getting in the series. I think it's done. And I think they gave their best, especially defensive effort in part of that Game 3. And even like for the first half of Game 4, maybe first 2 periods of it, they looked really good until it started to break down. And I think we've seen the best of the Habs in this series. So taking the Caps, and then also taking the Rays, who are, you got the first really true time you can say it's a potential Drew Rasmussen bounce back start, because this is the first time he's given up more than 1 run in a start against the D-backs. He gave up 4. His defense obviously didn't help him in that start either, because frankly he should have been out of a couple innings multiple times, but he didn't look great in that start necessarily, and that was because he was facing a lineup that you can't really nibble around the corners against, because Drew Rasmussen loves a lot of fastballs. He loves using his command against teams that are super aggressive. Royals offense, A, is fucking terrible, but B, they have a bunch of righties that they have no discipline whatsoever. So for a pitcher like Drew Rasmussen, that is absolutely perfect. And then on the other side, you get to face a pitcher who is a lefty. I'm not super thrilled about the Rays against any lefty, but they thankfully avoided Reagans. I don't know what the situation is there. They have a guy making his MLB debut who loves to fill up the zone a little bit. And the Rays, as bad as their offense has been over the course of the last couple of years, whenever they face a debut pitcher, I don't know, they ambush them. It's like they flip a switch and they turn into an absolutely different lineup. So I don't think they're going to go out there and hang like 6 on the pitcher necessarily. But I think when you bring out a lot of these righties against a guy who's actually had a little bit of trouble against lineups like these so far in the minors, it's probably not the best business for him. So, coming off of a bad start for Rasmussen, a bad game for the offense yesterday, I think they'll bounce back with a win. And this is a little juicier than some of the other MLPs.
Okay.
Which is good.
Not plus chicken?
No, like good juice. It's plus 140.
It is plus chick, you're saying.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Some longer odds.
Yeah.
Love that. You're buying some good news here, with the Caps, which, and by the way, that's the only devil's advocate I can think of, with Protis probably coming back tonight. Great news for the Caps, not only tonight, but for the rest of the playoffs. The guy's had a fucking gash in his foot. He hasn't been able to get out there this whole series. Apparently he's giving it a go tonight. I don't love buying good news, but I also think this series is done. And I think, just like you said, you cannot have said it better than myself. I think the Canadians are done. I think they're dead. I mean, bless their hearts, youngest team in the playoffs against the oldest, against Ovechkin and the oldest team in the playoffs. You got one of the faster teams in hockey against one of the slower teams in hockey. I thought that would give the Caps more fits early on. It really hasn't. They've done a really good job slowing this team down. I don't think they have any more gas left in the tank. The Canadians, I'd be shocked if they do anything tonight. So I like the Caps as an ML parlay piece. I don't want to let the Protis comment make you think I don't like the Caps to finish the job tonight. They do.
Yeah.
They do. It might not be, 7-3. I do think it could be a sneaky under type game. But I do think the Caps win.
I can see that. I think they suffocate the Habs defensively. So, I mean, it's tough to say under because the same thing that happened last game could easily happen in this game, where the reason we talk about elimination games overs is because you're going to get super aggressive, nature from the team that has their back against the wall. Plus, they're going to pull probably multiple times if they have to. So, who knows if it actually ends up going under, but definitely, at least to start, slower and more defensive.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, you were right about not taking unders later on in series on the ice, because a team goes down in the third period. Next thing you know, they're fucking pulling their goalie with 6 minutes left. Next thing you know, 10 goals are scored in the last 2 minutes. Next thing you know, I'm broke. We've already seen it. Not even in elimination games yet. Just in like middle of series games. So I learned my lesson there. You're right. Tread lightly with these unders on the ice.
It's not the same for all of them, because the matchups are just also a little different for the first round too. Because you're getting teams like the Habs that need to be more offensive and are going to be in a spot to pull, and they have their back against the wall. It's a little different when it's like a Caps Leafs that we can see a little further down the line, or like different matchups like that, or Leafs Panthers if the Bolts don't come back, something like that will be different.
Okay. All right. Love that money line parlay. And we'll circle back to that play on the ice to close this puppy out. For now, Gutsy swinging around. Going back to the Snakes tonight after they burned us last night. Back in Corbin Burns. And now I'm seeing the Mets catching more steam. Great. I don't give a shit. Corbin Burns has been terrible this season. Terrible investment from the Snakes. The Mets have the best record in baseball. They don't have 10 losses yet. Only team in baseball that doesn't have double-digit losses. I'm taking the Snakes here, who have been struggling immensely of late. They've lost 4 of their last 5 against the hottest, best team in baseball right this second, the Mets. We tried to fade the Mets last night. Maybe got a little too cute. I don't know. I really thought that was a winner. I guess not. Let's run it back tonight. And let's fade the fat, happy, and complacent Mets, who, if you look at their last couple games, they're coming off an 8-3 win against Arizona. Before that, they won 19-5 against the Nats. I got a feeling if Corbin Burns wants it, he can go out there and get it tonight and have his best start of the season. If he wasn't, total probably would be a little higher than that 8 opener.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree.
Brazoban's been Mariano Rivera as an opener for the Mets. Is that going to keep lasting? I don't know. I know Corbin Carroll, facing actually is a righty, so Corbin Carroll could get this puppy started off the rip in the first inning. One of the hottest hitters in baseball, knock on wood. Need to see it. Give me the Snakes. I don't care if the Mets are catching steam. I like the fact that Arizona opened up a favorite on the road with how bad Burns has been, how bad they've looked, and how good the Mets have been of late. Crazy.
Yeah. You're going to put that bullpen that's been elite as of late for the Mets to the test.
Yep.
I'll say this as well, that best two relievers in baseball have been Randy Rodriguez and probably Brazoban, and Randy just gave up his first runs yesterday. So it might be time for these relievers to start coming back to earth.
Yeah, it's going to happen very, very soon.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
It might be time, Goots. It might be time. It's starting to look like it. We got Dan's bets coming in hot with a resub as well. 23 months at tier 1. Sure we can, Dan. He says, I can't wait for Shador on my Montreal Alouettes. Was that CFL? I saw a team put a claim in for him in the CFL. I don't think it was your Montreal boys. Maybe it was. Was it? It might have been.
Might have been the Argonauts. I feel like they're different.
I feel like it was the Argonauts.
Yeah,
Yes, the Argos. So they get first dibs if Shador decides he actually wants to play football for the rest of his life and not ride pine, only because of his last name. Yeah, we'll see how that plays out, but I think we could all agree he probably won't end up in the CFL, at least not for like 5 years. Come on. Who knows, though? Maybe he wants to go play. Taylor Heineke did it in the XFL. He was a backup on the Battlehawks. Next thing you know, he's starting games in DC. Riddle me that. Well, that's probably shit that only happens to us. Line Shopper 108 in the YouTube chat. Hey, Krabs, fun fact. Warriors have won every fourth quarter in this series. Wow. So they were once the third quarter Warriors. I guess now they've pivoted, and now they're the fourth quarter Warriors. So
yeah,
I guess they're just the Mikey Over Warriors, the second half Warriors, right? We'll see if that lasts again tonight. I'm praying on their downfall, though, tonight, the Warriors, and I think they score less than a hundo. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Swinging around, Jovan's got one more straight bet for the peeps, and then we got prize pick squares. Jovan, tell me why the Blues are winning tonight on the ice.
Yeah, I think the Blues might shock the world tonight after, I don't know, the outset of the series. It's been a great series so far, but it's been dominated by the home teams in all 4 of the games. The Blues just won in convincing fashion. You know, the 2 games in St. Louis, more so game 3 than game 4. Game 4 was a little closer than the final score to indicate, similar to that Caps-Habs game. But now you get the Jets coming home, where they've been so good all season. And not only have they been so good all season there, but you're going into this game, I think you're back against the wall if you're them. And you have Gabe Vilardi coming back. So there's all the good news in the world, and seems like, I guess, the most obvious bounce back spot of all time. I don't think it happens, partially because I think the Blues are just this team of destiny at this point. So I think they get through the series potentially, and we're going to see a game 7 here. I think it has to come with them winning this game on the road and shocking everybody. But you got Vilardi coming back. I don't love, like, at this point in the series, especially. I know he makes a huge difference for that team, those lines, and especially like the PP, which for the Jets is going to have to be a big point of emphasis at this point, because Hellebuck's been absolutely terrible. They don't look the same defensively, so they're going to have to be aggressive and get something going, especially on special teams. I just don't know if I see it right now. And a reeling goalie like Hellebuck is just, I know he has all the talent in the world, and I don't want to discount what he can do, but against this Blues team right now that seems to have figured something out, not just about Hellebuck, but of how to attack that defense, is the most like high danger chances we've ever seen a team the entirety of the season get on the Jets in game 3 and game 4. Now you're going to go on the road and put it to the test. I think they do it, and I think they do it in a shocking fashion. It's like I like the Blues tonight. I'm fading the incredibly good news, because it's probably the best news you could ask for if you're a Jets fan or Jets better right now. I don't think it's going to happen tonight. I think you get them to steal one. Honestly, I think both the road teams win in game 5 and game 6, and then we see a game 7, which God knows what's going to happen then.
Wow. You don't think the Blues win it again against the same team, do you?
I think they might, dude.
Wow.
I think there's a chance.
Wow.
Obviously, it would be a big help if they were to win tonight.
Yeah, that would certainly help. And Nick just did a backflip into a cartwheel at the Bookit house here in this news. Rumor has it Nick might get 3. He might. He might get the Cards right now. They're up 1-0.
He ain't getting 3.
Who's the third team that I'm blanking on here?
It's the Cards, because they have a doubleheader. They'll split.
Oh yeah, they have 2 games today. You're right.
You got other Burns Day.
Mikey's POD is also Jets minus 1.5, just out of spite for Nick.
Okay.
That's crazy. Spite play. Spite POD is crazy.
He might just not be thinking he's getting 2 or shit, maybe even 3. Nobody's ever gotten 3, not even Goots.
I mean, Goots barely gets 1 these days.
Well, yeah, but there was a time.
I
when
was
Goots
getting 2 every weekend.
There's a time
college
Goots was
football
getting
playoff.
2. He was the only one. Yep. He was the only one. I remember it.
That
I
ended
do.
badly.
Remember when
Yep.
Goots got 0 in the national championship and NFL playoff game?
I just said that, Siobhan. You don't need to say it again.
Yep. You remember when Goots texted in our group chat and said they're back because Kyle Gibson's on the squad?
Then he almost put up a triple double.
Next thing you know, he's giving up a home run to every batter he faces.
4 of the first 5 batters.
Somebody call Guinness. Incredible. Incredible. Just like the Blues and their historic comeback here in the series. It's going to be incredible.
Yep.
Sure we can. Before Goots' head pops off his body from pure anger and hatred, why don't we move on to surprise pick
So,
squares?
yeah, are you guys going to flash up the report or you want me to do it?
You can do it.
Okay.
You can do it. I got some squares I'm looking at here. And Jovan's got one that I don't like, but that's okay. We'll talk about it in a sec. I'm going to drop the link to the Sharp Report foreman as well after I go over my 2 squares. Carmen Moldinsky's. Ever heard of him? Unless your name is Rav.
It's really bad.
There's a chance you might not have, to be honest with you, unless you're that tapped into baseball or unless your name is Rav. Not a lot of people know about this guy. It's because he stinks. This might be one of the worst starting pitchers in baseball. Look at the stats. Atrocious. I go peep the boards on Prize Picks. I had to, make sure I was seeing the right number, seeing the right square, seeing the right guy up there. Carmen Moldinsky up for 2.5 earned runs allowed. Typically, I'm checking the juice on these plays. This one, I don't even give a hoot about it. It could be minus 200 to the over, and I'd be on the less than here on Prize Picks. Absolutely absurd square. I don't even know where to begin. Obviously, I'm on the plus 1.5 here for the Pirates. I love the under in the game as well, but I love the Pirates to maybe even win this game or at least cover the plus 1.5 and cover that run line. You got Moldinsky up there with a 7 ERA, Jovan, against Matthew Boyd and that 2.5 ERA. I know bad things happen when you fade Matthew Boyd, but I'm going to do it one more time tonight. I simply cannot resist the Pirates coming off of 3 straight L's. And Jovan, this total's dropping, man, from 9, which I thought, was a relatively high total in a game involving, the Pirates bats. But if you look at what the Cubs have been doing of late, of course the total's going to open up at 9. The Cubs put up, 9 runs in the first game of the series. They've actually beaten the Pirates by a combined 21-0 score in the last 2 times they played them. Now, they've only played once so far this season. So that last game includes the last time they played last year. But that is an insane trend. The Pirates haven't scored a run. They've gotten outscored like crazy the last couple of times they played this team. I think we see one of the weirdest baseball games of the day in Pittsburgh today, a low-scoring W by the Pirates when we least expect it. The Cubs are rolling right now, one of the best teams in baseball. They're coming off a win last night where they held the Pirates to 0 runs, and they put up 9 themselves. Well, tonight, I'm fading their offense. I think they come out a little fat, happy, complacent early on. Hey, maybe they go out there and they put up a couple runs late against that Pirates bullpen. They are that bad. Wouldn't be shocked there, right? But I'm hoping Carmen Moldinsky, looking at this crazy square, maybe the weirdest one up on the boards, at least in this category, he's not giving up 3. Crazy square.
Hope so, Krabs.
Yeah. Jovan hates it. Tobias Myers. Jesus, I almost did it again, Goots. Tobias Myers, more than 4.5 hits allowed. Another just absurd square. Against the White Sox, who are actually the worst team in baseball. The White Sox, 7 wins. Absolute joke of a program. I'm trying to figure out why he's got a 4.5 hits allowed square up there where he hasn't given up more than 4 hits all season. That was kind of a head scratcher to me against the worst offense in the entire Major League Baseball. That's pretty weird. And they held them to 2 runs last night. So certainly a little bit confused by that Tobias Harris 4.5 hits allowed chart, especially looking at his recent games. He did give up 4 hits in that last start, so I guess, he's not trending upwards. I'd say he's honestly trending downwards probably, but I'm willing to fade Toby here, my guy, take his more than hits allowed for the White Sox. White Sox are catching 25 cents of steam as well. They might win this game. Couldn't get to the counter there. Instead, I'll just fade Toby Myers to give up more than 4.5 hits.
Sure. I get down with that. I don't know if this might work to your help or to your detriment, depending on when it happens. But I've seen some really bad Roth reports about this game. So I don't know if that means maybe the leash might be a little longer for him if they start, a little later, or, which would be unfortunate, maybe he gets pulled in the middle of it, which would be miss, especially if he was getting yoked.
Yeah, Freddie Peralta fantasy score hook a mile last night to see Gramp. Jesus.
Yeah, Surge. Honestly, the in reg might be on Surge just as bad, have just as bad luck as the entirety of the stream taking any pitcher against a bad team. Whenever it's said more than like twice.
Boots on ground at Camden. Can we get a Goots report POD for Tanner Lindsay in the YouTube chat? Wow. We'll have to link up for a beer.
Difference.
Say it again. Someone said boots on ground at Camden.
Yeah, Tanner Lindsay in the YouTube chat says he's about to be boots on ground at Camden. Can we get a Goots report POD in that O's game?
I mean, the POD is, I guess, if my mental sanity will stay or not, yes or no. Plus 100 both ways. There we go.
I bet.
Look at this. W Trend from Pega here as well. W Little Nug. He says, we have 6 people fighting for the top 3 spots of the leaderboard for the Surge stream today. Let's fucking go. W Rav stepping up as well. And hosting that stream yesterday and today. Let's go, Rav. Sure we can. Do we have a Gootsy POD? Do you need to get in the lab? Are you giving up? What do you think?
Can't give up.
I'm just going to watch the game. I don't have shit.
Orioles ML?
I guess. I don't fucking know, man.
Okay. All right.
Cookie Carrasco.
Cookie.
Might
I mean,
be
if they
Gunner.
can't put up runs against Cookie, bro, Jesus, man.
Yeah,
Come
Cookie off a gem, right?
Come on. Let's get it done. They're catching some steam their way as well with Povich on the bump. Starting to look sharp. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but we'll see how it plays out. Gates, have a great time at that fucking game tonight. Get a couple beverages going. Get a crab mac and cheese dog going. Yeah, you might. I'm jealous, though. Go have a fucking night at the ballpark. Camden Yards, beautiful place. Beautiful place. You're going to have a night. And maybe you'll meet up with Tanner Lindsay in the chat. Grab a beer. Sure. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving. Let's talk about some squares for Jovan. And while he goes over these pups, I will drop the link to the Sharp Report 4-man in the chat.
Yeah. Some unfortunate correlation here, Krabs. But doesn't have to be the end of the world. One of the only players, because I believe 7 of the 9 players in the lineup for the Cubs yesterday had an extra base hit. One of the 2, I think, that didn't. Kyle Tucker. And thankfully, I mean, we had took his run yesterday, which was more so because I thought he would be on base for the 2 guys behind him that I thought had really good matchups. And what do you know? I think it was the Seiya home run that eventually drove him in. Carson Kelly had a home run as well. Not that he was on base for that, but I think it flips the script today because Mlodzinski, not only is he really bad, but he's god-awful against lefties for a multitude of reasons. But, I mean, his fastball gets absolutely destroyed. If you want to see his yaw speed, cool. That gets destroyed too. Plus, his command of it is not very good. If you paid attention to what Kyle Tucker's done to really any breaking ball that hangs in the zone, then you probably know what might come today. Hopefully it's just a solo, but I think he's sending one to the seats today, Krabs. Unlike yesterday where I was just kind of counting on the offense to score runs and he would be a part of it, I think he has to do it himself today. So I'm taking Kyle Tucker. Hopefully it's a solo, or it could come off the bullpen because the bullpen, like you mentioned, is absolutely horrid. But I like him today, and I don't know if you got eyes on that square, but
yeah, I got eyes on it. How did those Shugs Bagel TV squares go yesterday that we had in the
which
in
ones?
the million MLB lineups?
I think we had a couple.
Yeah, I can go through and look. But yeah, I mean, obviously the chart is screaming for the more than here. So super down to lock it in. I already did. I dropped the link as well in the Twitch chat if you guys want to get involved. Sharp Report 4-man. There's a link. There it is. Boom. Yeah, Kyle Tucker, he's probably going to go out there and hit a fucking double. Shit, maybe even a nuke. Let's just hope it's a solo shot.
Might do. Right? Could just be a double too. And Mlodzinski is Cy Young for the rest of his outing.
Yep.
Could be goated.
Richie said, did you smack some of the lineups? I don't know what happened, but Krabs was so horny for him. Yeah, I was just trying to dial in on the diamond guys and did not hit a single lineup.
Way too many. Just way too much usage, man.
0 for 15.
Way too much usage.
0 for 15. Unbelievable. All right. The walk square was free. Let's go, Pega. Sure you can. All right. Mike Trout. Fantasy score.
Mike Trout. Very good. People forget is maybe it gets overshadowed by how bad he's been as of recent, and that's probably the reason why you haven't heard a single peep about this whole series, because every other time he's played in Seattle, because he absolutely owns Seattle, we will see POD after POD after POD on him to do anything in any of these series, because that's just like people love their BVP, they love their random nuggets about guys playing somewhere, owning some specific team. Shout out Jack for the 5 gifted. What a goat.
Jack.
Mucking.
Sure we can.
But yes, usually if anything were the same and this wasn't a Mike Trout that's really struggling right now, we would have seen a lot of people on him every game of the series. I want to hop back in now. I'm talking about the over in this game, and I can make the argument for a couple of guys, frankly, but I want to righty against Emerson Hancock, because Emerson Hancock, he's a big sinker ball pitcher. One of the things like Trout's been so bad against so far this year is really anything on the outside part of the zone, which he's a sinker slider pitcher. Hancock is like, you're going to see some off speed on the outside, but he really cannot pitch to a righty without jamming them or trying to jam them inside with the sinker. He was really good at that against the Red Sox. I don't think he's going to be very good doing that today. I think the Angels offense as a whole bounces back, but that's the one thing. Like, Trout has not been a great sinker ball hitter so far this year, but he's also been very unlucky. He's hit a couple of them really, really hard, and they've just been right to guys. But everything on the inner half of the plate has been, for the most part, where you see any extra base hits from him. So I think he is extremely liable to take one to the shed today. Obviously hoping so with the script of the game, but I took the fantasy score instead of the HRR because I don't know if you've seen the walk square up there too for a guy in Hancock who's kind of reeled back his control issues in the last couple starts, but we know it's still there. So I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of pitches around him for as bad as he's been, even though he's been really bad in the last couple games, last couple weeks, whatever you want to call it. But I think he's going to be involved in a lot of run scoring today, but I think he has a lot of potential to take Hancock to the shed.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Hancock is actually atrocious. And sure, maybe he's solidified the command a little bit of late, but it certainly has not helped the ERA. It's still hovering around 8. So, yeah. Fade Hancock. Back Mike Trout to go out there and do yob. If he gets walked, he gets walked. Let's bring him home. You got the over in this game anyway, so we're going to need some runs. I'm in. Love the square, love the angle. And the Sharp Report 4-man link is in the Twitch chat if you guys want to tail. Kind of a negative correlation with the earned runs allowed square for Moldinsky and for the Kyle Tucker square, but I wouldn't say they're completely related. So if you guys want to tail it, the link is in the chat on Twitch. Okay. Chat's loving your squares. Big Cheesy is obsessed. Says he loves your squares today. TS Goat coming in hot. W's. Sure he can. Little Tucker Trout home run life from UB Bulls. Okay.
It's probably the most goat status you'll see on the Sharp Report squares for a bit.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and hop in. Maybe talk a little bit about the slate. Certainly would not mind taking a gander over at Pickett Pro, elite website. If you guys haven't started using Pickett Pro and you're betting every day, what are you doing? Go check it out. Use the free trial. See if you like it. Let's start with the NBA. Got a couple games tonight. Already talked a little bit about some bets and some plays that we like. Give me the Warriors team total under 100.5. Also like the Rockets ML. Lean the Rockets spread as well. I think the Rockets stay alive in the series on TNT tonight. They get a big-time win. Thought about laying the juice, but instead I will fade the Warriors because if the Rockets want to win this game, it's got to go under. I would be shocked if they win this game and it goes over. Okay, so I'll go ahead and take that team total for the Warriors. Jovan, do you have any other additional thoughts on Golden State versus Houston?
No, I'm kind of with you. I think the Rockets win and cover this game and extend the series. I think both the series get extended, but this is the one I'd feel a lot more comfortable laying the actual spread on the favorite because, I mean, we can touch on the other game, but I feel pretty weird about that one, and I feel like I know what's going to happen there. But the Rockets, I think defensively, are going to shut down the Warriors today, so I'm with you. It screams like an under in the game, and you're going to need that team total to hit for them to win and cover. So we're in the same boat.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I do think the Lakers win and cover, but I also think there's a way bigger chance that that's bait than the Rockets.
It's the most obvious looking Lakers win and no cover of all time.
Yeah.
I think it feels like it's already written. The fact that I'm staring at +6 now reeks of a Lakers 2-point win. Absolutely reeks of it.
I could not agree more. I think you're right. I think the Lakers ML, solid look. Obviously, they kind of outpriced it at minus 230 now, I'm seeing at the shortest odds. So maybe a parlay piece, but yeah, I certainly would not be getting caught with a little Lakers ticket in my pocket. Now, if the Rockets end up getting blown out and that game soars over, maybe I could get convinced on backing the Lakers on the spread. That's really the only scenario I see myself getting involved in that game, though, and I'm really not expecting that to happen. So we'll cross that bridge if we get to it. Hopefully we don't.
Yeah, fair. This just feels like I don't know, more so for the Lakers game, I guess. It feels like this is the moment we have, like, for a series changing. Like the Clippers have had like a couple of their moments in that series where it's crazy. Like you had the Aaron Gordon buzzer beater. You've had a couple different games come down to the wire. You just had the one in Minnesota, come down to the wire with that late collapse by the Lakers. This feels like the game where last second they're hitting a shot to win the game and get their moment to stay alive in the series.
And Prime in the Twitch chat acting like he's Albert Einstein. Prime, worry about your own bets over there, brother. I don't need any zero correlation messages from Prime Bets teaching me up in the chat. What are we doing? In the big 2-5? Come on. Yeah, Lakers win, probably don't cover. Rockets, I'd be more inclined to lay in that spread. Not going to do it. I'll just take the Warriors team total under.
Sure.
And go about my day. And if that ends up being a terrible play, maybe I'll get involved on the Lakers, but I'm starting to just think that maybe the T-Wolves were saving all their good games for the postseason, because they have completely morphed into the team we saw in the postseason last year now. They're here.
Yeah, I mean a little bit. I just don't think the Lakers match up particularly well with them. It's kind of tough. I don't really think the T-Wolves look any better or any worse. It's just like the Lakers have nobody to stop Julius Pork. If you're just going to let Julius Pork go one-on-one and he's winning those matchups every time, that makes it harder for you to defend everywhere else in the court. It's just kind of tough.
Yep. Any thoughts on the Barcelona soccer game? Starting up here in a couple, I think.
Yeah, I got really nothing in that game, to be honest with you.
That's okay.
I think Inter could.
That's okay.
Shock some people and get a point, but
wow, Goots, they do have some splits up there on the pitch. Okay. Huh. Very cool. Good. Sorry to make you going back and forth here, but if you don't mind going back to the splits in the Lakers game, I would love to take a peep and check those puppies out. I didn't get a good look. Yeah, Lakers are public. Shocker.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, no way LeBron James and Luka Doncic lose 3 games in a row, right?
You'd hope not.
Yeah, I might end up not even betting that game at all. Super weird. All right. Let's go ahead and pivot to the ice. Okay, because you already gave a couple plays. Jay Thorpe, I think Pickett splits might hold more weight than most, because at least we know where the data is actually coming from.
Yeah.
Might be a smaller sample size, but at least we know it's real data.
It's not manufactured
logging their bets.
at the very least.
Yeah, and it's not, books writing off, tickets or buying old tickets or scalping tickets from other people, or, trying to move lines around and make sure they have split up handles. God, chat loves or they hate how I say Luka Doncic. Well, if he wins tonight and they don't lose 3 in a row, and if he plays defense on one possession, I'll say his name right. Maybe the worst defender I've ever seen. The guy looks like he doesn't give 2 hoots out there playing defense. Like he doesn't want to win.
Really bad.
It's the weirdest shit ever. Yeah, you got to play both sides of the ball, or the Lakers are going to lose again tonight. We'll see. All right. Let's talk about the ice. Caps are winning on the ML. Good looking late piece. You've got your Lightning involved with a home game tonight. I'm not loving the line movement, but you're saying there's some injuries.
Yeah, because I mean, you're gonna have a couple guys out because of really on both sides, because you got some suspensions on the Panthers side for a dirty hit, and the guy you hit is not going to be playing in the game either, which was just made final. So I really don't know where it's supposed to be at for this game. To be honest with you, just feels like at this point, like the Panthers are playing their game and they're winning, not just on the actual ice, but I mean they've been getting away with murder on the ice, and you can't be at a loss of depth, especially at this point in the series against the Panthers of all teams. So if
Mm,
you're playing the depth versus depth game, you're really never going to win it. You know, the Bolts built their team like that to start the year, and now that you're losing it because they're drilling guys in the head away from the play, it's kind of tough to come back from that. Even if
yeah,
you're, I mean, especially in the series, but God forbid this game.
yeah. I think it's chalked. I think it's wraps. I think your Lightning have fought hard, and I think their work here is done. And I hope I'm wrong for your sake, because I'm not confident enough to bet it.
Yeah,
But seeing
not either.
Florida catching some steam, I thought was a little bit weird. Was certainly expecting the Lightning to be a favorite today, without a doubt, without a question, even with the injury stuff going on, with their backs against the wall, like every other team and every other sport in this spot. But um, yeah, they're not really that much of a favorite. I guess they're less of a favorite now than they opened up at. I saw some, 120s floating around that they did open up at. And now we're seeing the line closer to a pick 'em. So not a great sign for your Lightning, but who knows? Hopefully I just jinxed them into a win. Keep the
Could be
season
huge.
alive.
Could be
Could
huge.
be huge. Can we take a peep at? I want to see the Blues splits. I'm curious to see how many people are taking the bait here on the dog, although in a good way, and locking in the Blues on the ice at plus chicken on the road here to win their third straight game. Who's got the sack? On the ML, not many. Good. A lot of people taking the Jets to bounce back. On the spread, not surprised, I guess, but people are landing with the dog, grabbing the point there, which I feel like is generally the case
Yeah,
in
when
these
the
playoff games.
line
So,
when the line is around this, where it's like the just above straight bettable ML and not quite minus 200, splits are probably going to look exactly like this 9 out of 10 times. I would say the Caps one probably looks a little similar, maybe a little less on the puck line for the Habs, but it probably looks relatively similar.
okay. Let's head to the Diamonds. Enough talk about the ice. How do you think this Nats game goes today?
I mean, I've been a big Christopher Sanchez guy, and I think he's started to cement himself and be damn good over the past, I don't know, handful of starts. I think a lot of other people are getting there too.
Oh,
Don't know that I'm running to back the Phillies exactly, but I have seen some Nats love out there today, which is surprising against Big
yeah,
Chris.
yeah. Motivation wise, you'd want to back the Nats, or you'd think they'd show up after that loss last night, but they're facing a pretty good lefty today. And whenever they're facing a pretty good lefty, I don't have much faith in this Nats
Yeah,
offense. I'll be honest with you. I need to see it. I need to see it. I mean, you got guys like fucking Lucas going out there throwing shutouts and they getting sent down to the minors after having a 15 ERA, 4 starts in. They are that bad against lefties. I have not seen any adjustments. Sanchez has a earned runs allowed square up there on the boards that I like the less than 4. The only reason I'm not on the under in this game, because I want to make it perfectly clear, it's pretty batshit crazy to see this total at 7.5 after what we saw yesterday. Batshit crazy. Now, I do think that maybe odds makers are not taking into effect how atrocious the Nats bullpen is, historically bad. Might be the worst bullpen ever in the history of the sport.
really bad.
Really bad, the worst. Statistically, eye test, whatever you want to say or call it, the worst. I don't know if you can even cap that. So I can't decide if it's even weirder, Jovan, that this total's this low. Maybe the odds makers are hip to how bad the bullpen is. They pretty much know everything. But then why is this total at 7.5? With that Jake Irvin square up there too on the board, which scares me too. If that square wasn't up there, I'd already have this under locked in. But Jake Irvin has a 2.5 earned runs allowed square that looks like a very easy looking more than a click. Now, I will say with Jake Irvin, he's had squares up like this for 2 years and it hasn't mattered.
Hasn't
It
dude.
hasn't mattered.
You know what's of almost certainty to happen though, Krabs?
What?
Trey Turner 4 hits yesterday. Kyle Schwarber sent one to Mars yesterday. The one guy who didn't do anything is sitting same as like Kyle Tucker. That's somewhat similar, but like
Yep.
One guy who didn't do anything is up for the same exact squares again.
Yeah, and his
Bryce Harper sent one to Mars.
Harper's his little clone, his little obviously a way worse clone, but his little clone out there for the Nats, Dylan Cruz, fucking making nasty plays out there in the outfield, robbing him from doubles to start the game. Crazy. Yeah. Crazy play. Krabs, did you guys mention Gonsolin making his first start for years? I mean, yeah.
Get there about that.
We have not mentioned that yet, but that is pretty crazy that he's getting wheeled back out again against Cal Quantrill. I would love to say,
two pitchers.
Yeah, I'd love to say it's the over in that game, but don't know if I can give that one out after what we saw last night. Okay. James Wood, best player on the field. No. Not yet. Not yet, but he's probably second, to be honest with you. Harper, probably. I'll give it ahead of him. Future Hall of Famer. Guaranteed. Schumann. I'll probably put James at number 2. Best player on the field. I want to take this under, Jovan. Should I ignore that Jake Irvin square that's up on Prize Picks that never matters and goes less than every time it's up there?
Dude, the problem is, like, the first time you ignore it, you know it's going to splooge over.
Yeah. What about a first 5 under?
Yeah. They could be down with that. Just got to hope Irvin minimizes the damage, I guess.
Do you think this total's as weird as I do, or?
I mean, I don't think it's incredibly shocking, I guess. It's like Irvin's been good. Sanchez has been fantastic. He's coming off of like the short start that everything they said pointed to like a precaution thing. And I would also assume that if the total is this low, it's probably somewhat the inverse of yesterday's weather.
Yeah, maybe probably some wind blowing in.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
The total in San Diego today is at 6.5. Well, now I'm seeing 7s. William Wagers. And King hasn't given up a run at home since opening day. Does that under seem too easy? Yes, the under does seem too easy, but we did see the freest over of all time in game 1 of the series yesterday that we talked about. I don't know if I'd be willing to go back to another over here in game 2. So I would just stay off that game probably, to be honest with you. I'd probably stay off. Jovan, any thoughts on the Astros today?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the handful, I guess, of debuts we get to see today, which I don't know why today is like National Debut Day in the MLB for whatever reason, but this is the only one, I guess, that looks incredibly odd, I would say, with Jackson Jobe, who's been absolutely fantastic so far this season. He's going to be facing an Astros offense that, I mean, they lost to, the first 2 games of the series, but the offense looked somewhat good. You would expect them to be shut down a little bit today, I think you'd think, but they're dogs, which I find very odd.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I very much think it's Astros and Blumbaugh pitching. Blue ball. Pitching somewhat well today.
Fucking blue ball. Are you kidding me?
Blue ball.
I mean, come on. I mean, there's been some great pitcher names. I'm blanking on the other one that I heard like a week or 2 ago. Another crazy new pitcher name. I mean, you got another guy today making his debut for the Reds, Petty. Another hilarious name, but
the GOAT.
Not as funny. There's another pitcher. Blew it. Yes, thank you, Big Bat. What a name for a pitcher as well. The new opener for, I can't even remember. Yeah, the Braves. Yes, W. Big Bat, the Braves. What a name. Blew it, and you end up being a pitcher in baseball? What are the odds of that? Let's hope he doesn't end up being a closer. Okay.
Brazilian Oriole for 2 seconds this year, and then we DFA'd him. And then he started for the Braves the next day.
Now they're putting him in the Hall.
Crazy.
Yeah, Jovan, what a name. Hilarious.
Yeah.
You think Blue Ball goes out there and gets the win tonight, huh?
Yeah, I think he pitches pretty well. He's a strikeout guy. I was reading up on him a little bit. He's like a Hancock, but with much better strikeout stuff, I guess I would say. He has some control issues too, which against the Tigers probably shouldn't come back to bite them. But I think them being minus 120 and that total kind of staying put kind of says it all.
Blue balls like Hancock, huh?
Yeah, had to draw the little line there, Krabs.
Did you regret saying it afterwards, or you just keep on moving?
No, it was intentional.
Oh, okay. Sure we can. Well, I'm down to back blue ball today on the ML because I do think that's pretty weird seeing them catching some steam against Job's sub-3 ERA.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, with the crazy name for the Astros starter, I'm down to take them. I don't like backing guys in their debuts, but when they're against a team that has a better record with a better pitcher on the bump and the line's weirds, I could be convinced. It might be Houston. Might be Houston. Yeah, total slayer. Can't make it up. Who's the Rockies pitcher? Seth Halverson. Dude is a cannon for an arm, however, struggles terrible with command.
It's the classic Rockies pen pitcher.
Yeah, you sure you're not talking about Dolander, who's pitching today, who is the epitome of...
Halverson's in the bullpen.
Yeah. Well, Dolander pitching today for the Rockies. I've never seen a guy who's just more of a thrower than this guy, Dolander. I heard this a lot in high school, I guess, with some of my stud buddies who were really good pitchers about the pitching coaches yapping at him saying, you can't just throw the ball, you got to pitch. You got to learn how to pitch. It's an art. Dolander is the epitome of the guy just goes up there and has great stuff, throws the ball hard, but has no idea how to pitch, has no idea what he's doing up there. I feel bad for the kids. And you're probably not in the right organization to teach you either out there in Colorado. What the hell do they know about pitching? Anybody with a brain that works is staying as far away as they can from that organization and their pitching department because it's Colorado and they give up runs for a living. That guy goes up there and just throws ball hard, has no idea where it's going, has no approach. I feel bad for the kid because he's got good stuff. He's got an electric arm, but it's not good enough. And it's the perfect example, I guess, of you can't just have great stuff. You got to have something else. You got to have more. You can't just get away with it. If you could, guys like Dolander would be studs. The guy's got a 6 ERA and he's about to be out of the league. I feel bad for him. He's got to learn how to pitch. He says
I don't know. Yeah, he just tries to pound the zone, which is the reason why he has such a barrel problem and a home run problem. I mean, you're facing the Braves and Coors today with that approach. Good luck.
Good fucking luck. Although I will say, wouldn't be shocked if the Rockies put up 1 or 2 against Chris Sale.
I honestly don't think that'll matter, Krabs, to be honest with you.
No.
I mean, it's the Braves are minus 300, which even though it's Sale, Dolander, and Braves versus Rockies, that feels like maybe the steepest price looking at the matchups that I've seen for the Rockies this year. Obviously,
wow,
they're going to get much steeper as they continue to be absolutely horseshit, but that feels like the destroy spot.
Yeah, that just might be. Okay. Any other games on the diamonds that you want to talk about, Jovan? We got a couple others we haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're not talking Cal with 10 total.
Yeah, a lot of factors in this game with Gonsolin making his first start in 2 years. So,
and the daytime Doyers after scoring 15. Surely they come back and destroy Cal. There's going to be some bullshit, guaranteed.
Probably. I'm trying to remember Gonsolin and his vibe. So Gonsolin was a guy who just went out there and overperformed, overexceeded expectations, would have weird squares up there, kind of similar to Jake Irvin, where he would have disrespectful squares and they wouldn't matter, and he would be.
He's like righty Tyler Anderson, pretty much.
Oh, great. Okay.
Same vibe.
But yeah, Cal Quantrill, I mean, Jesus, man, he's probably going to find a way to will his way through a quality start tonight.
Yeah.
Because it just makes zero sense, and that's just the Cal Quantrill way. Talk about a true... I should like him. He's a contrarian up there on the mound. Dude makes no fucking sense. Yeah, and you got a chance there to maybe fade Gonsolin and back the Marlins there on the ML at an extremely juicy plus 265. I'd say if you're playing Miami, you take them for half U on the ML. You don't worry about the plus 1 enough. You don't worry about backing them any other way because they either win somehow, some way, or they get their dicks absolutely kicked in once again. right? It's either
Probably,
win
yeah.
outright or get embarrassed. It's not going to be a one-run game, which is not that hot of a take.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of how I see that game play now. We got the pick 6 coming in with a resub. Sure we can. Sometimes you have to watch an ad on Night Sweats to sub on BTL. What? D-Mart coming in hot, resubbing as well for 30 months. D-Mart, 30 piece. Sure we can.
D-Mart.
Yeah. Krabs, how did you become a contrarian? Need the backstory. We're going to need more time than this, but pretty much I was just like everybody else where I bet on stuff that made sense in college, and I learned the hard way financially that it's not that easy. I wish it was. Whenever I say that, it's not a joke. I wish it was that easy, guys. If it was, the books wouldn't fucking exist. That's how I learned. I learned by losing a lot of bets and bettering myself. All right. The Raffy coming in here asking the right questions too. I know you like your under walks allowed squares. What do you think about Sale and Coors? Let's take a peep at it really quick. He does have a 1.5 walks allowed square after walking 8 guys in his last 2 games. Jovan, I mean, that's a weird square. You'd think a guy like Chris Sale would be saying, hey, maybe I can nibble a little bit more here in Coors against a moose shit squad offensively. And I don't want to leave any turkeys over the middle of the plate. Maybe you throw a couple more balls in a stadium like Coors. I thought that's kind of weird seeing that square up there, man. I'll check some juice on it, but I mean, baseball sense, the over makes a lot of sense in my head, but it looks like a nasty contrarian less than we could potentially tap into here.
Could be. It's also, I mean, I don't know. It's a slider heavy guy, which makes me a little nervous pitching in Coors, I guess, but maybe against the Rockies, he doesn't need it as much, or doesn't try as much to go the off-speed stuff, and he comes in with as a veteran guy with a little different of a game plan, just says, I'm going to beat you with my fucking fastball. Could be it.
Rockies have really struggled against lefties.
They've struggled against anybody.
And they've got their hands full tonight, man, or this afternoon. Chris Sale has a 7.5 strikeout square up there. He's probably going to be getting some swing and misses. Maybe not as many walks tonight, although the over 1.5 walks allowed is minus 125. I'll be staying off that puppy because, again, I'm going to turn my baseball brain on here for a sec. Wouldn't be shocked if he nibbles a little bit more than normal, ends up resulting in some more strikeouts and maybe some more walks, but that is a weird square, man. Weird square. And I appreciate you bringing it up in the chat. Okay? If Krabs is contrarian, he'll take the A's tonight. Wish we had a little bit more time to talk about the A's, but we don't. Jovan, any thoughts? Late night game until we move to the squad rides. Severino versus Evaldi. Athletics
I do
Rangers.
kind of like the A's, to be honest with you. I mean, there's a bunch of splooge fests that get to happen in the last couple of days, which yesterday, I mean, there were both games that ended 15-2. This was one of them. I could care less about backing the O's on the other side of the Yankees game, but this is one I could be very interested in, especially because teams that come off of putting up that many runs, when you face a pitcher that, I don't know, is not a strikeout guy necessarily and just makes you pound it into the ground, which Severino very obviously tries to do and does pretty well with his ground ball rate. So you've had the most success, and the Rangers have also been pounding the ball into the ground a shit ton, even when their offense has been better. So I would not be surprised at all if the A's take one right here.
I mean, Severino squares make it seem like he's about to have an absolute night tonight. And then you go look at Evaldi squares, it looks like he's about to have the worst start of the season tonight.
Yeah.
And he's a fucking taco.
He is a taco.
Huh.
Interesting.
Not sure if y'all noticed, but Mr. Blue Ball for the Stros is wearing 69. No fucking shot, Liam.
Oh, way.
No shot. I mean, the guy's cracking jokes before we've even seen him on the bump. I love this guy. He might be the next stand-up comedian. No shot he's wearing number 69. Mr. Blue Ball. That's just one of the weirdest situations I've heard of all week. I might have to just take the ML today out of principle. The A's batting squares were outrageous yesterday. Most of them were boosted. Guess what? They did nothing, so I hate going by prize pick squares.
They really weren't.
All right.
All those were really low yesterday. It was honestly the opposite. Which is the reason I didn't want to get involved in that game, but it was also DeGrom. We were looking at that. DeGrom had the highest squares he's had all season, and he went out
That's why we
and
took his more than
dominated.
fantasy score.
Yeah, we took that. It was the opposite yesterday. All the Rangers, the DeGrom squares were really high, and the A squares were really low.
Yeah. All right. Might have to add the A's to the cards. Shit. All right. Enough talking about A squares and DeGrom from yesterday. Let's hop in and talk about a squad ride for tonight. Let's cash another one of these puppies, huh?
Sure.
Dudes, if you don't mind, run that shit. I'm trying to see that train. All right, chat. We got plenty of options today and zero excuses. All right. W play last night with the guards. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. It's one of those cases, in my opinion. Although I guess they earned it late, but it never really felt good that entire game. But we'll see if we could find a better, easier going play for tonight. Jovan, probably not going to get you on the Pirates.
If it's your meat on tape, Krabs, I'm not going to stop you. I'm not taking the Cubs. So I do think this is probably a good day, another good day for you to take command here.
Yeah. All right, let me ask you this. What is your favorite play? What do you prefer, the Angels Mariners over or the Blues ML?
That over. That does start during the day, though.
Okay. Okay. I think the Blues are winning. I don't really care if they're plus 150. I think they're winning the goddamn game tonight.
Wow. If you're in with me on that, I'm certainly down.
Put the Blues in there. Angels and Mariners game starts in 2 hours.
Yeah.
All right, you want me to take the reins? You want me to take the reins?
Yeah, I was going to say NBA potentials here. Your Warriors team total under.
All right. Brad said, take your time, fellas. Still setting up W's. Appreciate that. Astros are also a decent look after talking about Mr. Blue Ball. Can't make it up.
Well, that game starts in 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah. You know what else we could put in here, though? The Athletics.
Yes. How about them?
What about the Snakes?
Ooh, could so be right back to the Snakes.
You want to make it a 5-piece today and put in Pirates, Warriors, and Snakes? Let the chat decide. I like my plays today.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the chat some more options today. It's been a while since we've done this. Let's give them some options. Let's give them a chance. Chat, do me a favor. Vote for the play you know is turning green, not the play you love the most, or the sport you love the most, or the time that's more convenient for you. Don't be a me guy. Don't be selfish. Okay? Click on the button you know is turning green. Please. I'm asking nicely. Okay? 5 plays, 5 winners. We've got the Blues on the ML, the Athletics on the ML. Love those fucking plays. The Pirates plus 1.5. Sure we can. We've got the Warriors team total under 100.5. Love that play. And then the A's. Oh, sorry, the D-backs. Already went over the A's. The D-backs. Scoots' D-backs. He's got a good feeling in his gut about the Snakes. Chat, get those votes in. Hurry up. Go, go, go. 5 plays, 5 winners. Plenty of options. You've got NBA. You've got MLB. You've got hockey. You've got sharp plays. You got nasty plays. You got dogs. You got favorites. You got any choice you could possibly desire for today. Don't just sit there. We should have a record amount of votes for today. Get involved. All right. Don't just sit there. Click the right button. I can't believe the Snakes are winning this poll. I'm not that mad about it, but I can't believe
expect that to be winning at all.
I can't believe it after all the other 4 plays that were sold so great.
W Goots though. Maybe a Goots nug after he's been in rat shit is honestly great.
It literally could be the difference. To be honest with you, it backs against the wall Goots. putting his foot down, saying we're putting the snakes in this goddamn bet. He said, what about the D-backs? He might be onto something here, folks. Get those votes in. All right, hurry up, go, 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 go. We got a foot down Goots play with the D-backs ML as we get a BD Gamer follow coming in. W follow, we're so close to 50K followers. Tell your friends if you're watching and you haven't followed. Number one, you're a me guy. Number two, take 3 seconds and hit the follow button. It's free. It's free. We are so close to 50K followers. Help us out. Could not be more free. Could not be more easy. Don't be a me guy. Click the follow button. I would love to shout out some more goats dropping follows on the Twitch right now before we close this puppy out. I don't know if we're going to get that chance. The squad ride is the snakes tonight. Okay, Goots. Sure we can.
Good Goots.
Love that. All right,
About
bro.
time Burns has a good start.
Come on. Back in your guy, Burns.
I know Corbin is somewhat of a me guy. He would love to do it against one of the best teams in baseball.
Confirmed me guy.
Yep.
Confirmed me guy. Don't like betting on him much, but let's get in, get out quick.
Yeah, imagine picking your
Little
family
snakes
over
ML play.
living in Baltimore.
Goots never change. You're fucking goated. I don't even know what to say to that. I think we'll just use this time to need to close down the stream. All time, Goots. D-backs ML. Beat you guys at the cash counter. And we'll catch you tomorrow.